Rounding out the Big 12, let's go to Baylor.
Okay.
The Baylor Bears, it was a very difficult 2023 season for Dave Aranda, trying to get things back on track on the recruiting on the recruiting front. We mentioned they got a nice win today with the addition of Joshua Lair from Fort Bend Marshall. Overall, holistically, the big picture for Baylor for 2024's class is?
Well, you know what? When you asked me this in the early signing period, I was kind of down on it. At that time, they had the number 16 class in the new Big 12, which was towards the bottom. Today, Baylor kind of like turned it around a little bit. One, they got a huge commitment right out of the gates early this morning from Fort Bend Marshall safety Joshua Lair, who's the number 53 rated prospect in the DCTF Hot 100, hard-hitting safety, a defensive leader, a guy who I think also has an NFL upside. So I think this is a huge get for Dave Aranda and the Bears. But they also, just like as we're doing this show, inked Alex Foster, defensive lineman out of Mississippi. A lot of people thought like he was going to be flipping to Texas. He had a close relationship with Bo Davis. Bo Davis left, went to LSU, kind of like reopened the door for Baylor to get their foot back in it and make sure that they inked Alex Foster. He's the highest rated commitment in this class regardless of position. So that tells you something about his overall skill set. So he picked Baylor over some SEC programs, and of course, you know, Texas was pushing hard for him in the early signing period. There's some, you know what? I think this class is a little bit slept on nationally. I don't disagree with its ranking because it's not a very big class. They have 14 players who signed a letter of intent. Some of the names that step out to me is 4-star DCTF wide receiver Jadon Porter from Lorena. I really like him. I think that he's a guy because he's committed for so long. He was committed for like 2 years. That a lot of people don't talk about him, but I think if he was one of these uncommitted guys, he would like have a lot more praise surrounding his name. And of course, Joseph Dodds, who led Tidehaven to a state championship appearance this year. I think everybody found out about Dodds throughout the course of the 2023 season and exactly what Baylor was getting. He's a guy who can instantly transform your offense and a guy you can lean on like in red zone situations to power the ball over the goal line and score touchdowns, which I think is an element that was missing from the Bears offense this year. They just didn't have that closer, right? And they struggled sometimes passing the football, but now they got a guy like Dodds that you can give the football to when it's, you know, first and goal at the 5, and you can probably rely on him to score a touchdown in 3 plays.
For Baylor, it's been a good day for them too. They've closed strong, and I would say I agree with you that they needed to.